Back in 2016, HTC released an amazing VR headset that was going to be supported by Steam. There were promises that we would see Linux support from day one, but this didn't happen right away. I think it was about a year later that we saw the first version of Steam VR for Linux, and at this time, I checked the prices of the Vive and it was still in the $800-900 range. Way too rich for my blood. All the games I had seen for the Vive were Windows only, and Wine was not really a good option for most of the games on Steam at that time. Don't get me wrong, Wine worked great for some games, but it was not a reliable solution if you had a big chunk of money laying on the line. So I put off buying the VR headset. Fast forward to October of 2018, Steam Play announces Proton for Linux. This was a game changer. This meant that more Windows games would run under Linux without any tweaks or anything special needing to be done, at least in theory. Is that on the initial release of Proton, one of the games on the official supported list of Windows games was a VR game called Sabre. This means there's hope after all for VR for Linux, and we don't have to rely on native programs supporting VR. I had some money saved up, so I figured I might as well just bite the bullet and try this out and see if it works in Linux. HTC was offering a 30-day money-back guarantee. No questions asked. I figured gave me 30 days to figure out if this thing's going to work or not. My 90-day experience with HTC Vive and Linux has actually been pretty good. Most of the games that I've run into either work right out of the box or need minor tweaking. There are a few things that didn't work. I'm finding that mostly things that aren't games that require some kind of hardware level interaction don't seem to work. So any of the big screen where you can look at your desktop and watch movies on your screen, I can't get any of that stuff to work. I've had very little luck getting any of that type of VR stuff working. But games, which is what we really want, have been working good. VR in Linux runs pretty good. Don't let the video that you're watching fool you. There are some stutters in the video and some weird tracking issues. The tracking issues was because my cat, for some reason, decided to attack one of my satellites, and I didn't get it quite adjusted right when I was making this video. And the frame drops you're seeing are actually because of the recording software. For some reason, it's not very good at picking up recording VR stuff. When I first started using the Vive, I had a hard time adjusting. I would get motion sickness almost instantly, but slowly over the first week or so, my mind adjusted to the VR world, and I got so I could play for hours at a time. Sometimes I will still play a game and it'll give a little bit of motion sickness, but it goes away pretty quick. You get used to it. Games like Blade and Sorcery can cause motion sickness because you actually move around using the controller like a D-pad. Other games, such as Arizona Sunshine, can teleport from spot to spot, so there's no movement. There's movement as you teleport, but your brain adapts to it really quick. This disconnect from the physical movement and VR movement causes your brain to freak out, but you do adapt quickly. There are other games where you don't move at all. There's things that they call VR experiences. There's one called The Blue, where you're underwater and you're looking at animals swimming by, or whales. You don't really move around much in there, so there's no feeling of sickness, so you just kind of look around and you feel like you're there. Those were some of the first things I tried out when I was getting the nausea and the motion sickness. It was to help me get past it. Other games such as Subnautica and I think Everspace also are type of games where you're sitting at your desk with the headset on and you use a controller instead of an actual like a Xbox controller to move around, and it's not as bad when it comes to motion sickness. Overall, do I feel it's worth it in the Linux realm? Well, yes and no. Yes, it's a ton of fun. It really does take gaming to the next level. A flat 2D video that you're watching now is never going to give it the justice that it deserves. Since Steam Play and Proton has made it so that more and more games work for Linux, it's just becoming more and more fun. Now the no part, it's too expensive. You need a modern, higher-end gaming PC with a good video card. I think they recommend an NVIDIA GTX 1060 or better. I've seen some games say GTX 970, but I don't think they're going to run that good. And they also recommend at least an i5 4th gen and 8 gigs of RAM. So if you have the hardware for it and you can afford the $500 price tag, I say go for it. The other option is the Oculus Rift. It's about $100 cheaper, but I have no experience with that one. One really cool thing that I've found is that games are cheaper, or at least it seems cheaper. Maybe it's because of the winter sale, I don't know, but I think I only paid a lot for one game. I played Skyrim VR. I paid the full $59 price for it, but you know what? It was kind of worth it. If you like Skyrim, you gotta get Skyrim VR. It's amazing. Most games are under 20 bucks, and there's a lot of stuff that's free. So, if you can afford it, yeah, it's totally worth it. If you can't afford it, then wait it out. I think the stuff's going to get cheaper, especially now that the next generation of VR headsets are starting to come out. So with that all said and done, I do want to take a minute to thank you guys for watching my videos. You may have noticed that I took a little break over the summer, and I haven't been making much content. I just needed a break. Nothing serious happened. No bad users in the comments or anything. I just wanted to take a break. But now I'm back.
There you guys are.
Committed to myself to make at least one video a week
what's up, dudes?
For the year 2019. And I've also started a Patreon. The Patreon is not so much to pay me, even though, you know, I do get the money, but I want to start running gaming servers. Right now I have two gaming servers. I have a Minecraft server and a Rust server. And I want the Patreon money to go towards adding even more servers. I would love to get a whole cluster of different multiplayer games that support Linux and run the servers and have a nice community going on there. So if you want to help support the channel and you appreciate the videos I make, check out my Patreon. The link will be down below. And, you know, if you want to sign up, go for it. No pressure. It'd be nice. And I just want to thank you very much for watching the videos, and I hope you guys have a wonderful new year and keep on using Linux. Take care.